Very, very good morning to all students. Yesterday we have seen about variable forces and work done by a variable force we have seen, right? To find the work done by a variable force, I have said we have to first plot a graph between the force and displacement, force along the y-axis and displacement on the x-axis. Then we have to calculate the area covered by the graph line with the displacement axis. That is equal to the work done by the variable force. So it is very important. A question can be asked, how can you calculate the work done by a variable force? What is that? We have to first plot the graph between graph with the F force along the variable force along the y-axis and the displacement on the x-axis. The graph line, that may be a curved line or straight line, no problem, right? Okay. That then what is the area that the graph encloses with the displacement axis, that is equal to the total work done by the variable force. For an example, I have marked a question here. That question is here. A body moves under the action of a force that varies in magnitude as shown below. This is the force is varying. As the force varies, the displacement is also varying, right? Okay. Shown below. If the force is expressed in Newton and displaced in meters, find the work done. That's the question. So this graph is drawn here. The force displacement graph is shown here. This figure shows that. This is force is along the y-axis and displacement is along the x-axis. See S here and this F here, right? So this graph, when categorized, this part of the graph is a rectangle. This is a trapezium. This is a triangle. This is also a triangle. So that is actually shaped into different figures. The first figure is a rectangle. Next one is a trapezium. Third one is a triangle, etc. If you can calculate all the values of these areas, area of this plus area of this plus area of this plus area of this. But this is a negative quadrant. That area must be taken as negative. All the other areas in the positive quadrants are taken positive. That will be added together and this part will be subtracted. Then you will get the total area. You will write as in terms of joules. That is the total work done by the variable force, right? In this case, this part is a rectangle. Rectangle means what? Length and breadth. This is 20 and this is 5. 10 minus 5 is equal to 5. 20 into 5. And this is what? This is a trapezium. Trapezium, these are two parallel lines and this is the perpendicular distance between that. Parallel line, this is 20 and this is 30. So trapezium, the area of a trapezium will half into the sum of the parallel sides, 20 plus 30 into the perpendicular distance, that is 10 minus 5 is equal to 5. Right? The other part is a triangle. Triangle is equal to half into base. The base means 20 minus 10. So this much length, this much distance is equal to total 20, this much is 10. So 20 minus 10 is equal to 10. That means half into base into altitude. Altitude means this is the altitude. That is equal to 30. Minus this also same thing. Up to this much height is 30 and this is what? 30 minus 20 is equal to 10. That is a half into 10 into 30. Why minus sign? Because that triangle is in the negative quadrant. That is why it is taken as negative. In all values, 20 into 5 is equal to 100. Plus this value when calculated, you will get 125. This value you will get 300 divided by 2 is equal to 150. This also 150. 150 and 50 cancels. You will get 225 as the area. That area is termed as equal to work done. Work done is measured in joules, right? That is why we wrote 225 joules we wrote. So this is how we can calculate the work done by a variable force. It's an important question, right? There are several questions described in the books that also you will see, right? Many questions you have to do. That is your work. So this I am removing from the board. You will note it down, seeing the video, right? Okay. Next, we are coming to the next topic that is called energy. Energy is Energy, what is energy? Energy is the capacity to do work is called energy. Coming to energy. The ability or the capacity to do work is called energy. Energy associated with the mechanical system of bodies, means moving bodies, and also the body which is kept at a certain height above the surface of the earth, or a body is compressed, is like a spring. Yes, as a spring or a string that can be compressed or elongated. In those conditions, the energy comes, or energy developed is called what you call mechanical energy. Mechanical energy can be of two types. One is kinetic energy and other is called potential energy. Kinetic energy, that is the energy of a body by virtue of its motion is called kinetic energy. When a body moves, its kinetic energy increases. And also kinetic energy, the expression for kinetic energy, everybody knows that's the kinetic energy is equal to half into m into v square. Right? So kinetic energy of a body depends on mass of the body and velocity of the body. If the velocity of the body increases, kinetic energy increases. And also if mass of the body is more, then kinetic energy is more. The body, if it is not moving, if it is at rest, then kinetic energy of the body is always equal to zero. Right? So kinetic energy can be seen in many conditions. Suppose that we have to introduce a nail on a wooden article. You have to use a hammer. Hammer is taken to a very high height, and it is beaten on the nail. What is actually happening is that the kinetic energy of the hammer is converted, is used to push the nail into the wooden article, right? So that means the hammer, the nail is driven into the wooden article because of the kinetic energy. Kinetic energy, the hammer is converted into the other energy. That means the energy with which the nail is being driven into the wooden article. So, and also we have seen that the kinetic energy of the air can run a windmill. Windmill is a device that can be used to convert wind energy into electric energy. So when moves, that wind energy can be used to convert electrical energy. So if windmill when moves, the motion of the wind or the wind energy can be converted into electrical energy. Wind energy is mostly, it is a kinetic form of the energy. So kinetic energy is a mechanical form of energy. So energy associated with a mechanical form of matter is what is called mechanical energy. It is of two kinds. One is kinetic energy and the other is potential energy. The other one is potential energy. Potential energy is the energy possessed by a body by virtue of its position above the surface of the earth or by virtue of its configuration. Configuration means shape. Right? So when we are taking an object from the ground level to the height of the to the ceiling of the house, suppose your house that is a two-storied building and one-storied building. Suppose you are taking an object from the floor level, means the ground level to the ceiling level. You have to carry the object to a height h. Right? When you carry the object, weight of the object is actually acting on your body. You are carrying the body means you are actually bearing the weight of the body, and you travel a distance, a height is equal to h. So in this case, force is equal to mg. Force you are applying on the body is equal to mg, and the distance moved is equal to h. Now work done is equal to mgh. This work done is stored in the form of energy, and that is why this energy is called potential energy. Potential energy is always a stored form of energy. Right? Potential energy of water stored in a dam, or the energy stored with water in a dam is actually potential energy. Right? Because dam is constructed in such a place where the water can be kept at a height from the other lower surface. That means the other part, the ground will be very low level. From that height, water is kept stored in the dam. When water falls down, then what happens? The water of this much mass, when falls down, its potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. That also can be converted into electric energy in the with the help of what is called electric generators, right? So these are about the potential energy. So potential energy can be gravitational potential energy, and also potential energy can be elastic potential energy. Gravitational potential energy, I told you, when an object is taken from the ground level to a height h, you have to bear a weight, bear a force is equal to weight of the body, and you are moving a height h, that is the displacement. Then work done is equal to force applied on the body by you into distance through which you have climbed up. So that is the force is in this case is equal to weight, that is equal to mg, and h is equal to height. Therefore, work done is equal to mg into h. This much work done by you is stored in the form of potential energy. So body on the top of a building has energy. That energy is equal, though it is not moving, it is kept at a height, it has energy stored in it. Right? That energy is called, every object at a height above the surface has energy stored in it. You are not able to see it, but energy is stored in it. That stored form of energy is called the potential energy. In the case of the earth, when an object is taken to a certain height relative to the surface of the earth, that energy stored in the body is called the gravitational potential energy. Other one is what is called elastic potential energy. Elastic potential energy means due to the configuration of a body. For example, a spring is taken in between the hands and it is compressed or elongated. You have to apply a force. If force is applied and the force is moving a certain distance, either it is compressed, either it is elongated, or it is compressed. In both the cases, one part the spring is fixed and other part is compressed. Therefore, we are actually taking the force and moving a distance